Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Lowe shop class. This time, our project is a really nice, entertaining cart. It's got casters on the back legs, wheels on the front, and a tiled top that's perfect for outdoor parties. So I've just been to Lowe's. I've got the wood and the equipment we need to build our cart. So let's get right into the construction. Now, this time, I'm going to start by building the left and right sides for the base of our cart. And as you can see, the two sides are mirror images of one another. Each one has a front leg, a back leg, two rails, and two handle extensions. So I'll start by cutting all of the rails and legs to the correct size. Now, handy thing about this project is there are no rip cuts, which means I don't even have to get the table saw involved. I can cut all of the pieces that I need to length on the miter saw. Right, so now I have the main pieces that form the sides. Let's focus on one side at a time. Here's your basic construction. Two rails, two legs. But notice one of the legs is shorter than the other. That's because it'll have a castor attached. So I want to join the rails to the legs, and to do that, I'll use pocket holes. So I'll get my pocket hole jig, and I'll drill holes in each end of each of the rails. All right, it's time to drill a hole in the bottom of the back leg for our castor. And remember, the back leg is the shorter of the two. And to do that, I'll use a 1/2 inch bit, and I'll drill in 1.5 inches. But we're drilling into end grain, and that can be a little tricky. So I like to use a brad or a bullet point bit so it doesn't wander. And I'll create a starting point for that using an awl or a nail. Then I'll use the table as a guide to help me drill in parallel to the face of the leg. While we're at it, let's drill the axle holes in the front legs using the same 1/2 inch bit. Now it's time for the handle extensions. As you can see, there are two of them on each side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut two blanks, each of which will later become two handles. But it's easier to clamp and drill them now when they're part of a larger piece. Now, first, I need to drill a 1-inch hole 3/8 of an inch deep into each end to accommodate the aluminum handles we'll be adding later. Now take your pocket hole jig and drill pocket holes in each end. After you've done that, measure out your angle, mark it, and then using your jigsaw, cut the angle and separate the two pieces. All right, we're ready to assemble our first side. Now, if you've ever watched the shop class videos before, you know we have a motto around here, and that is keep the ugly on the inside, which in this case means when you're assembling the side, make sure your pocket holes are facing in. Also, take care when you're assembling because these sides need to be mirror images of each other. Carefully measure the height for the rails, and remember, it'll be different for the front and back legs. And also note that the rails sit flush with the inside face of the leg, so I'll use a scrap to keep everything aligned. Apply some glue to the areas that meet, and then clamp it together. You could attach everything together now using pocket hole screws, or you could wait 15 minutes and let the glue set up a little bit, and that way when you put the pocket hole screws in, pieces don't move around. And there we go. Our two sides are complete. Now join me next time when we create the bottom shelf and the top. I'll see you then.